In those dreams, hey, what is up, you guys? Your girl G here. I am live. When I tell you it has been a minute since I have gone live, I literally have been telling myself, okay, girl, one of these times you're gonna have to go live, and so you can actually get the chit chat with the folks and talking and everything. And I was gonna record by the window, but this storm all of a sudden came in, and so I don't know if y'all be able to hear it, but there's literally going on all right now outside my window. So if y'all see me, it's kind of low lit. It's because the storm came running in. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to come and talk to you guys. So much going on. We got Shannon Sharp, we got Tracee Ellis Ross. We got Ben Stiller, showing up for the community. He's clearly been invited to the cookout. Okay, you guys. So yeah, I wanted to come and just chit chat a little bit. Like I said, I usually don't go live. So I was like, ain't no better time than now, cause y'all. So the other day, y'all know the other day was 420, right? So our liquor store ended up adding these new infused drinks. So I got this one, and it's a strawberry cannabis infused one. And so my brother, I gave him the choice because it was his birthday. My brother's birthday is ironically 420. So I bought two of these, and one of them was a hybrid blend, which was this one, and this is strawberry. And then the other one was sativa, and that was like a citrus one. So basically, I drank the can, y'all. So I drank the can, and it is what it is. It's gonna kick in when it kick in. Well, it kind of has a little bit already. I'm feeling a little buzzy buzz. So let me grab my phone and let's go ahead and get into the topics, okay? Let me see if I can pull up comments. Sorry, y'all. Hi, Delicia. Is it Delicia or Delisa? I'm just gonna say Delisa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, welcome back. And when I tell you, I was like, I need to go live more. I told myself I was going to go live more. So what better time than now? Okay. So let's go ahead and pull up the sites from earlier. So Jasmine Brown. You got something to say. I wouldn't even try to come on here for this one. But when I opened up Instagram, literally on it's on site, it says Jasmine Brown opens up about feeling unsupported while caring for her household. She said, I fed everybody, then realized it's 4:00 and I didn't eat a thing. Mm-hmm. Nasty work. When a rich nigga puts the pressure on you, okay? When a rich put that pressure on you, okay? He put that pressure on you, and he can't even put no pressure on a goddamn cleaner. He can't put no pressure on offering a goddamn maid, a babysitter, hell, a chef, since you said you ain't ate since 4:00. Like you didn't, it was 4:00 and you realized you ain't ate. Girl, we tried to tell you. We tried to tell you. But I wanted to really quick talk about Sinners. I don't know. Oh, y'all hear that Amber Alert? I don't know if y'all got one. North Richland Hills, that's in the Dallas area. Lord Jesus. Anytime I get an Amber Alert, I always just say like a quick little prayer in my head and just send it to the universe. But yeah, so Sinners, y'all drop down the comments. Have any of y'all watched Sinners yet? I haven't watched it yet because y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really do thrillers. I'm not really a big like scary movie person. And like I'm okay with like vampire type stuff because I like growing up, I watched like Queen of the Damned, and then like I don't know, something about like thriller / scary movies I just can't get jiggy with, but I know deep down that movie is good. Everybody talking about how good it is. And for the week and ended up having $60 million. And so this is when Ben Stiller came in because Vanity Fair, I don't know if y'all heard, tried to do a real nice, nasty headline and basically was like, oh, Sinners breaks box office by earning $60 million in their opening week, but still has yet to go, like still has much left to go, as $90 million was the budget. Will they make it back? And it's like, excuse the fuck out of you. Like, and then Ben Stiller had to come and be like, in what world is $60 million a bad thing for an opening week? Like, you know, there's an art to catching when white people are doing, like, you know, they little nice nasty stuff. There's an art to catching it. But like when you work in the professions where, you know, there's white folks, and there's nothing more annoying than when you in a conversation with white people and then you walk away and then you start get to thinking and you start realizing, wait a minute, that bitch, like, that bitch tried me. Like, you think there ain't nothing more annoying than that. Oh Lord, y'all, the rain is pouring down. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's starting to come down. But yeah, like when the white people be like saying slick shit, you be like, wait a minute, like. And that was something I had to learn early because I grew up. I'm from Texas, y'all. I'm from Texas, red state. All right, I'm a blue dot in a red state, and I grew up. Hey, Joseph. I know it's been a while since I've gone live, but your girl just drank a little bit of a reefer infused drink, okay, like the old folks say. And I just said, I guess no better time than now to start talking to the people, you know, while I'm in a blabbering mood. So, you know, I grew up in Texas. Literally, there's a big ass Trump sign on the way into my city, quite literally. And it actually got taken down not too long ago. I'm surprised that bitch got taken down. But nonetheless, I grew up where, you know, the black kids play football. We you know, went to state damn near every year. And it was very much known that it was cool hanging out with the black kids, playing sports with them, but let you end up talking to one of the coach's daughters, but let you end up talking to one of these white girls. I literally was that my sophomore year or junior year? It was my junior year of high school. One of my friends, she ended up started talking to a black boy. Tell me why her dad came up to the school after our morning athletics practice, after he found out that she was talking to the black boy, and came up to the school with the mom and got her out of school, pulled her out of school after finding out she was talking to a nigga. Because that, at the end of the day, that's what we're always gonna be to these white folks. And the mom came in the dressing room and was like, "Get your stuff, let's go." And me and my friend Kenya were like, "Wait a minute," because we knew the boy and we knew he wasn't like, I don't want to say like the other ones, but you know what I mean, the other niggas, okay? Oh heck, that's the same one. We knew he wasn't like the other ones, but it was very. I remember one thing thinking to myself where the mama was like, you know, it's not that I don't have a problem with it, but she can't talk to him now, like maybe in college, but like not right now. And in my head, I'm like, well, what the college got to do any different than, you know, dating him in high school? She only 2 years away from college. But in my mind, I was like, you know, a lot of white people or white families, when their daughter goes off to college, it's like almost a justification, because everybody knows when you go off to college is when you start experimenting with shit. Okay. So in my mind, it was like she was going to be okay justifying in her mind if she decided to talk to a boy, as in like, oh, she's just in college, you know. But to find out that your daughter was texting a nigga and then you took her out of school, came to the school, we literally had to call our school security because he tried confronting him in the gym. And she was like, I have a test today. She was like, we got to tell your teacher, you know, you got to make it up. And I was like, yo, and like, it really is one of those things where white people are always, what happened? What was that? LeBron? Was that LeBron? Where they ended up writing the hard ER on his gate? And I think that was LeBron. And you're always, that's what, even when you make money, even when you got a seat at the table, when they allow you to have a seat at the table, trust and believe. You might feel like the token, but you got a seat at the table, but you will never be at the head of the table. Trust and believe. They will constantly, in any way, remind you that you're gonna always just be a nigga to them. So that's what Vanity Fair basically tried to do with Sinners. They really tried to minimize the impact that it had. And I hear it's really good. So if y'all haven't seen it, go check it out. I gotta get my nervous up to see it, because like I said, I don't like thrillers like that. I'm sorry. I'm just not like really a scary movie type situation. I know it's not a scary movie, but like thriller, but I'm still gonna support. I'm still telling everybody else to watch it. So yeah, Ben Stiller, appreciate you, for jumping in and trying and checking them hoes, because like they tried it. They really, really did. So moving on, I wanted to get into let's talk about, let's see. Let's do Tracee Ellis Ross. Yeah, let's do Tracee Ellis Ross. All right. Let's see. Who do I want to do? Neighborhood Talk. It's on site. Let's see. What's on Hollywood Unlocked? Do they have it? Because y'all know Tracee Ellis Ross just was on Joseph Felton. My uncle warned to stay away from white girls when trying to be friends with them, especially. Unfortunately, when you are Black and you grew, it's just a unknown, or not an unknown, but just like a subconscious known thing that, well, they say with the white girls. That's what they say, you can with the white girls, and it's not the same. And like this idea too, in that's what you get for messing with them white girls. Like that's why you should have been with a Black woman. I'm not that far removed to say like to take it that far of like, oh, you shouldn't have been effing with the white girls. You should have got with a Black woman. I'm more like, you shouldn't have been effing with the white girls, because point blank period, statistically, you're putting yourself in a worse off situation. And the problem is, Shannon thought his money was going to save him from that. Shannon thought the fact because she was young was going to save him from that. If y'all think Shannon did not weigh out the probability in his mind of shit going south and being okay with it, you're absolutely delusional. But we'll get into him in a second. Yeah, because Shannon, you you really got some issues, point blank period. So Tracee Ellis Ross, you guys, just was on Michelle Obama's podcast, right? And speaking of Shannon Sharp, she's on the other side of it now. Tracee Ellis Ross interview has popped up, and boy does it got the niggas mad. Okay, I don't know if y'all saw Corey Holcomb. He can't never keep his ass off of talking about Black women, and in particular the older rich aunties. He's definitely mad at the women who decided I'm okay being by myself. It pisses him off. It pisses a lot of men off, because they're not voluntarily by themselves, right? And not only that, there is an immediate like repulsion to knowing that women are living a life where it's a freedom of their choice, where they're not having to be pulled in directions that are not, directions that are, implemented by them, i.e., husband, kids, whatever. They don't like that because there's a freedom to a woman that they don't like for women to have, period. Like historically, women have always been a possession or something to be in control of. So when they see a woman out there, living freely, it literally makes their ass itch, and it gives them a wire hair up their ass to constantly be coming for women. So I'm going to see if it'll play. Will it play her or will it just play him? All right, now let me know if y'all can hear this. Tracee Ellis Ross.
In a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prized, and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. My age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
Did y'all hear that? Y'all try to let me know if y'all heard that. But basically, Tracee Ellis, was discussing she does not date men generally in her age range or older, because that demographic of men, we know how they think. They're from the era of, be seen, not heard. You're a woman, stay at home, do as I say, don't talk back. That is their generation. And so when she says, I tend to date younger men, for the aspect of, their mind seems to be more open, more developed in being willing to live in a variety of ways. You Negroes want to literally conflate that with Duval was the first. Y'all know Duval is another one. I put Duval and Corey Holcomb in the same goddamn category. Duval's first one, she say it and it's okay, but when we say we want to date younger girls, we're misogynistic in the problem. Her saying that she wants to date a younger man, first of all, she 50, the younger man she talking about at the lowest is 35. At the lowest, okay? What we're not going to do is compare that to 50 and 19. She says she's dating a younger man for the aspect of him being mentally more open and aware and willingness. Y'all say y'all are dating younger women because, it's less baggage. They're less likely to argue back. They're less likely, they're more susceptible to being impressionable. That's what that man said at 8 at the table. She's more impressionable to my plans. Y'all are with these women who are younger in a predatory manner. Tracee Ellis Ross is not dating these men in a predatory way. The context of these age differences, the fact that 19 is okay to a lot of you niggas, 19, emphasis on teen. Now that I'm older, I think back on being, 17, 18. Of course, when you're 18, you're like, shoot, I'm legal. You feel a little grown and stuff like that. And the older you get, you realize you still young, like at 25. The fact that your brain doesn't even fully develop till 25 and you niggas are dating women where their brains aren't fully developed says a lot about y'all. Let me see. You said the unks with beer bellies are upset. I ain't got no problem with that. What Tracee Ellis said. I'll date her. She looks like a good time and she's funny. And is. And it's always the niggas that look like Corey Holcomb that got a problem. It's always the niggas that look like Lil Duval that got a problem. And it's because they know deep down ain't no bitch touching them if they didn't have no money. And they complain about gold diggers, but the gold diggers is the only one you want. Because remember, Corey Holcomb, you said that you date women who financially are struggling because they're less likely to leave. That's financial abuse, homeboy. Like, y'all don't want to call the thing. And that's what a lot of men do. Y'all want to give descriptions of stuff, but y'all don't want to name the thing. And like, y'all are just like racist white people. When white people want to talk about, you know, the things of how they feel about black people, and they're describing the things they do, you know, in regards to black people. And black people are like, you're racist. They're like, oh, how dare you? I'm not racist. Like, no, I'm not racist. But all the things you're doing in that category. So, man, y'all don't want to admit, a lot of y'all don't want to admit that you're the bad guy. A lot of them have convinced themselves because they're just not outright on these streets, you know, beating women up, you know, being physically, you know, violent with their women, that they're different and that, you know, they're the good guys, you know, they're not as bad. To convince themselves that they're not that. And y'all are almost worse because y'all do the thing that's invisible. Y'all do the thing that is hard to quantify. Mental and emotional abuse is really hard to quantify and really hard for people, really hard to have other people wrap their mind around. All they're ever, it's just the black and white thing of like, well, why didn't you leave? You know, well, he put his hands on you, you should have left in. You saw the red flags, why didn't you leave? You know, people really need to start asking themselves, in particular men, what is it about abusive relationships that makes it seven times a woman to leave? Why does it take 7 times for women to leave abusive relationships? It's more than just it's more than just, oh, he did bad things, so you leave. It's outside of that. There is a mental thing at play in which your brain is literally rewired. Your brain is rewired for the ups and downs of the relationships, like an emotional addiction. It's like, although it is fighting, it is terrible, you're dealing with it, you're addicted to the ups and downs and waiting for the good to come back out of this man. A lot of women are constantly chasing that man that he used to be. And if I just keep doing it, if I just keep being the right wife, the good woman, he'll come back. I'll get that version of him again. And this is where you get breadcrumbing. It's like he'll give you little bits and pieces of, you know, and glimpses of how good he can be, or back to the version of himself that he was, but you'll never get that again, you know? And if you do, it'll be temporary, or to get you back, or to try and make up for some shitty thing that he did, i.e. cheating or whatever it may be. Or, you know, he just put his hands on you. Immediately after that, he apologizes and then, you know, does good deeds and stuff like that. Like, I literally think hold on top. I thought I charged this hoe. Y'all hang on. I don't want the screen going black on me now. All right. Y'all hold up. Just a sec. Okay. Y'all good? Y'all hear me? Okay. What'd you say? You said, I got what she was saying. I think Tracee Ellis was talking about dating a younger man like a Michael B. Jordan and not no Kai Cenat. Yeah. Like I said, when Tracee Ellis was speaking of younger, she was still speaking of a grown-ass adult. She was still speaking of 35, 40. You men want to seriously try to conflate her talking about 35 and 40 and y'all dating 19 and 20. I have come to the realization that men purposely are misunderstanding women. This is my thought process. Men are going to continuously purposely misunderstanding women because they know they have no intention on being a part of the solution. Because when we're constantly talking about, we understand that the relationship between men and women is not conducive for either, right? Under the patriarchy as it currently stands, the way men and women, are interacting with each other via relationship, friendship, whatever, is not right. It's not healthy. And these men are constantly asking for versions of women that are back in the 1950s, i.e., submissive, staying at home, homemaker, raising the kids. They love to say women ain't feminine no more, da 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 da. And if that's the case, if that's the complaint, then we must start with what y'all also say yourselves too, which is like y'all are very much aware because y'all say it on these damn podcasts. Oh, all the woman needs is to feel secure. If you show that, she can feel safe with you and secure with you, then, you'll have her mentally, then, she'll be, committed to you. So if you're aware that that's what is needed to get this feminine version that you are wanting out of a woman, then let's start discussing behaviors that would then, supply security to the woman, i.e., not cheating, i.e., being financially responsible, i.e., not having babies on them, i.e., not laying hands on them. Those are the things, the changes that need to be made to create the safety to then, therefore, help manifest the feminine woman that y'all are wanting so damn bad. But the truth is, y'all have no intention on doing those changes. So you would rather beat down women, tire down women into accepting, because y'all said, oh, y'all literally told women basically, like, understand that you're going to get cheated on. If he's a man of stature, if he's a man of money, just accept that you're going to get cheated on. Or hell, if you leave him just to get with another man for him to cheat on you. Like, we see these on the podcast. Y'all have made it up in your minds that the solution to male loneliness, right? The solution to relationships lasting longer is simply women just putting up with the quote unquote male behavior, because we're made that way. We're made to procreate. We're made to screw around. Idiots. This is another thing that pisses me off too, because I get high and watch, Planet Earth and Animal Planet. Last time I checked, the female animals is out there getting around too. Last time I checked, in fact, what is a stat that I learned the other day? In fact, lionesses actually sleep with multiple. Did y'all hear that? Woo, that scared the shite out of me. Woo. Hey, yo. I don't know if y'all heard that thunder, but that whole made my house shake. But in fact, I don't know if y'all know, but female lionesses sleep with multiple lions of the herd because they do it as a way to confuse the male lions, because male animals tend to try to attack or mutilate the cubs, basically as a way of like protecting their throne, essentially. So the lionesses sleep with multiple of the males to basically confuse DNA, because they won't kill the young if they think it's theirs. So y'all ain't the only animals out here fucking around, idiots. And then they convinced a lot of you dudes that that's the way to think, and like, oh, 80% of women want the top 20% of men. Lies y'all tell yourself. And then two, it's a thing of like, oh, we're meant to go around and procreate and sleep around. But the main integral part that y'all forget about, the animal kingdom is the only way you was even getting a whiff of the pussy is if you was putting your life on the line. The only way you was getting a whiff of the Uchinana is if you was ready to go to battle. And then even after fighting to prove that you were, the dominant male, you still didn't know if you was getting some. She still was had the right to turn away. Y'all really gotta watch Planet Earth, the Animal Planet, all this shit. Like, you niggers don't really want it like that. Y'all don't really want Animal Planet. Y'all just wanted to be able to have excuses to be, non-sexually disciplined. That's just what it is. Y'all don't want to have dick management. But yeah, and even so much in the wild, these niggas, they understand just to procreate, this bitch just might bite my head off. Y'all know how many spiders and praying mantises bite the dude's head off after getting a nut in? So, like, dudes really need to, like, they're just so warped because they live in this hypothetical mind in their head of like, oh, gold diggers, nigga, you ain't got no gold. You ain't got no money. Where is it? Where is it? You don't even got no house, Lewis. You ain't even got no car, Lewis. What do you mean? Like, these dudes are so just out of whack. But yeah, so I know I kind of ended up mixing everything all together in that topic of Tracee Ellis Ross, but Shannon Sharp, you guys. So we were also, I was talking about Shannon in the mix of that as well. But Shannon, y'all know he had this girl, Gabrielle, basically, who is suing him, right? And in this lawsuit, she basically mentions that they did have a consensual relationship, but within the consensual relationship, some unconsensual things happened, which is fair because, hey, back in the day, women had to fight for marital right being a thing. Y'all know what I'm trying to say? So it is very much possible for unconsensual things to happen within a consensual relationship, or coercion being a part of the relationship. You know how many women literally a week after giving birth and getting her vagine ripped from, coochie to ass, and dudes is literally begging to have sex with a woman that still got stitches? Like, y'all ain't reading the Reddit stories. You dudes ain't reading the Reddit stories. Y'all don't want to read it because y'all don't want to believe y'all are that disgusting. But y'all know y'all are that disgusting, which is the crazy part. Y'all are aware of how disgusting and bad men are because you tell women since birth to leave men alone. But then when women talk about the experience of being with you disgusting as Negroes, the only answer you got for them is, well, you picked him, or you should have picked better. It's always about how the woman was supposed to make a more right decision than it was for the man to not act in the wrong way. It's always making sure the woman makes the better decision, the right decision. If that's the case, if women are always supposed to make the right and better decision, what the fuck we got y'all as leaders for? If y'all, in every other situation, women are supposed to be the ones that take lead. In sex, oh, well, you opened your legs, you let him in, right? It's on the woman's responsibility to not let him in, right? She's the one that says no, right? You act like you dudes don't have the right to walk away. Ain't nobody holding you down to have sex with her. You know you don't have a condom. You know you don't have no money. You know you can't afford a child, but you still went ahead with the risk because you felt like it was going to be her responsibility to get rid of it. Anthony Edwards. They're okay with giving the woman the responsibility of trying to get rid of the baby just so they can get a raw nut in. It's disgusting and it's really immature. And a lot of you need help because not only is it just, lack of sexual discipline, but there's such this need for control and this aspect of being, in charge of something, which is why Shannon got with this 19-year-ass girl. Like, you thought none of that was going to blow back on you at any aspect of time, but he picked the right one. These men, when they're looking for girls, they're looking for the girl to fit their criteria of getting away with the most shit. That's what that is. Although the woman who is allowing them to get away with the most shit is contributing to why you are depressed and why you are upset with yourself, because she's not holding you to a standard, which means you're not holding yourself to a standard, which means you're constantly wallowing in the depressing pool that you're in and then just taking it out on her. Y'all understand that y'all need quote unquote good women so y'all can become better men, but y'all don't pick them because being with a good woman and becoming better requires accountability, requires a responsibility, requires for you to actually talk your shit and back it up, you know? But Shannon, you got with this 19-year-old OnlyFans girl for the fact that she was an OnlyFans girl and for the fact that she was 19. So damn the fact of, you know, these assault allegations, those potentially being, you know, like false aside, if those are not true, it still doesn't take away from, you know, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse, the choking. He admitted to like he was gonna choke her on the. Let me see if I can pull up the audio. Let me see. I swear to God, I swear I am so tired of literally. And then as soon as I opened up to find Shannon Sharp, this dude said, I'm 38. I can't imagine fucking with a 19-year-old. The fuck we supposed to talk about? That's the real question. What are you talking about with her? That's because you have no intentions on talking to her. You have no intentions on actually truly getting to know her. All you have is the intention on is using her. Because what the hell are you gonna talk about with her, Shannon? Y'all can't talk about cartoons. Y'all can't talk about the fact that you wake up sore and got to use Bengay to get to work. You can't talk about having a hot toddy because she can't even drink, Shannon. She can't even drink, Shannon. You can't even take her to a club, Shannon, which means if you were drinking with her, you were providing alcohol to an underage, to a minor. So then attack that charge on too, Shannon. I swear to God, niggas like Shannon. And you could tell something was off with him. Like, for people who watch Shannon and be like, something ain't right about him. I been knew something wasn't right about Shannon long time before the Michelle stuff. You know, I think one thing too that needs to be talked about is, do I want to go there? Should I go there? Do I want to go there? Fuck it, we here. A lot of dark-skinned men don't want to admit the self-hate that they have towards themselves. And it's unconscious, it's subconscious, it's something that we're all taught. It is the result of racism. You know, it is, you know, the blacker you are, the worse you are. You know, the lighter you are, the better you are. And just like dark-skinned black women get told, you know, you black, crunchy, whatever, you black, whatever, you know, black boys get told that too. And they're very much insecure about it. And Shannon ain't the only one, which is why you're always going to see a very dark-skinned boy with a light-complected person. And also a part of that is like trying to be in charge of or get back at the entity that, you know, that minimizes you for being dark skinned, you know? So I'm going to get this lily white girl as as I am this dark skinned man, and I'm going to take it out on her, you know? Or I'm going to get with this white woman because, you know, maybe, just maybe it'll lift my social currency up, you know, because this is something that Terrell Owens talked about. You know, he talked about how, you know, the black girls called him ugly. So, you know, that's why I date white women, because, you know, growing up, the black girls called me ugly. Some stupid bullshit. But Dr. Umar said it best. I don't F with that nigga either. But you know, Dr. Umar was like, well, shit, if the black woman's calling you ugly, you can't tell me the white ones was calling you calling you that either. A lot of you black men get with these white women in the hopes of growing your social currency, but you take on the risk that you're like, you quantify the risk in your head that comes with that. And a lot of times, because if you are the dark, ones with money, you feel like, oh, you shoot, I'm up there, I got the money. And then when it comes, reckoning day, now comes well, you know what this is, as Shannon Sharp says, you know what this is. It's a money grab. You know what this is. Tony Busby just got done going after Jay-Z, which is true. Multiple truths can exist at the same time, y'all. That's something a lot of people need to learn. Multiple truths can exist at the same goddamn time. And Tony Busby absolutely is, a grade A scumbag asshole lawyer, right? But it doesn't change the fact that he might have finally got one. I think Tony Busby was going after all the black ones until he could find one that can stick. He knocking on all the doors until one's finally gonna open and let him in. And this just happened to be the one. He happened to finally find the black guy that got some skeletons in his closet and that he might actually be able to get a case of. And so here it is, Shannon. You can acknowledge that you had a relationship with this woman, consensual, and you feel like by you admitting that, like, that is doing something. Like, okay, you're admitting the consensual part, but we've got to acknowledge the fact that, nigga, you were 15 dating a 19-year-old, and the men that hang around you after knowing that, we got to question too. Now that people know that you are 54 years old dating a 19-year-old, conversations need to be had. Conversations need to be held. As Cat Williams said, you have an uncanny loyalty to losers, and it's because you are one, right? You don't want to date women your age. A lot of you trick daddy, another one. You ugly ass niggas. It ain't got nothing to do with him being dark skinned. Trick Daddy's just ugly. He looked like the Mucinex monster. He ain't healthy. I bet when he snores loud as fuck when he go to sleep. I bet he can't sleep on his stomach comfortably. It's men like Trick Daddy who get upset at the fact that they know that they couldn't pull women without the money. But at the end of the day, y'all don't really want the women that aren't with you for the money, because she typically isn't a resemblance of the status that you want to uphold to the white men. Because best believe this is all about being assimilating themselves to white men. But every time y'all get in a legal situation, y'all then now have to be reminded that money and sitting at the table with these white men still don't make you white men. You are going to always and forever be a nigga in the court systems. So if you get treated unfairly, that's what, like, why are y'all surprised when y'all get treated unfairly in the justice system? But the thing is, you thought having that white woman and you thought having that money was going to save you, and it didn't. So now, Shannon, here it is. We see text message, this girl talking about put a big black baby in me. Y'all know y'all love that race play. Black men love race play, don't want to admit it. They don't want to say it out loud. A lot of them love the race play. A lot of them love getting called nigga by white women in the bedroom. Okay? It's a fantasy. And the crazy part is, in your fantasy is being a slave. We need to break that. We need to break that down. We need to break that down. Okay? Psychologically, a lot of you men, in particular black men, is effed up. And it's really unfortunate, because it's like, as black women, we want y'all to be better, and we can't express that enough. But we can't overlook the bad behavior, and we can't be responsible for y'all being better more than y'all want to be better for yourselves. Like, you know what? I just stress myself out. I had this thing for my brother's birthday the other day. I got a little liquor, and let me take a quick shot because that really just stressed me the fuck out thinking about that. Woohoo! Whew. Gotcha. Went to the chest. Like I told y'all, my brother's birthday was 420, so I got like leftover stuff. Woo! I need to feel that little burn real quick. Sometimes you just need to feel that little burn in your chest a little bit when you stressed out. It's just I really just stressed myself out thinking about that shit, y'all. You got her talking about put that big black baby in me. You know, she was sending him, I want to wear a dog collar while you shock me and stuff like that. And he basically was like, in the recordings, it sounded like basically she was leading him, as the lawyers say, objection, leading the witness, leading the witness was what he wanted to say she was doing. But she didn't lead you to say those things of like choking her in public. The things you said is because you wanted to say them, right? So whether she was leading you or not, that has nothing to do with your responses. Your responses are your responses. So the fact that you're saying things like, oh, I'll choke you in public, whether it be for sexual gratification or whatever, we still know that's something that you're capable of and that you're okay doing. So it's like, Shannon, everything might not be true, but enough of it is true because you was willing to give her $10 million to shut the fuck up. You were willing to pay for it, but she said no. Any man, as you said, that is innocent through and through is fighting that shit head on real fast. Is not settling worth a damn. You not finna blackmail me when I did nothing to you. But Shannon, you are very much aware, even if there wasn't, actual quote unquote, right happening in the relationship. There was manipulation, there was coercion, there was still mental and emotional abuse. Well, no name. If I sound so ignorant, how you want somebody to address you when you say no name? You want people to address you and you say no name? Like, your title literally is no name. Okay. All right. Anyways, so yeah, it's at this point she deserves some type of payout. Something happened in the relationship that was worthy of a payout, because even your grammar is disappointing. Well, if my grammar is so disappointing, you know what you can do? Log out. My grammar is so disappointing, no name. Oh. If it's so disappointing, then how about you not listen to it? How about you save your ears if I'm so disappointing, okay? So, Joseph, dating an older woman to most men's equals non-submissive and having little to no control over them. Dating a younger woman equals having full control over them and mind manipulation. So, I got mind control over Debo. That's basically absolutely. Like, a lot of the times I'm one of those people who it isn't what you're saying. I don't listen to just what you're saying. I also pay attention to what you're not saying. And a lot of times, Negroes, what you're not saying is, I like that she doesn't fight me back. Like, you say, oh, I want her to be submissive. I want her to be, impressionable. So that means on the opposite end of that, that means you like being able to say what you want and not being rebuttal to. What you're not saying is, oh, I see that 19-year-old and I think to myself, oh, I want to lift her up. Oh, I want to help her reach the career that she wants. Oh, I want to build a future with her for us to be partners. That's what y'all are not saying. We be hearing what y'all say all the time, but a lot of the shit that y'all are not saying is what y'all want to ignore. It's floating around in the air. A lot of the times, the stuff that be going on with niggas is floating around with the air, but y'all don't want to name it. Y'all don't want to put a title to it. So, yeah, you guys, y'all drop out in the comments. Tell me what you think about Shannon Sharp. Okay, I want to move on to the last topic because this video, way longer than I wanted it to be. But you know, like I said, the reefer get you going. Y'all know I talk long when I get that when the little cannabis hit my system. How many milligrams is this? Let me see. It's called Tempters. Tempters, okay? Cannabis infused elevated seltzer. Okay, it's 10 and 10. Okay, so 20 milligrams. Yeah, it's just a little something. Okay. And then I just literally took that shot because this shot was guava flavored Everclear. Okay. So it is what it is right now. Okay, anyway, let me stop. Let me get to the end. Okay, so last but not least, Kevin Gates, y'all. I remember when Kevin Gates first came out. I was in high school, and that song, sometimes I'm in my feelings. Sometimes I'm in my feelings. Oh, like I remember when that song came out. Like it was Kevin Gates back then was a vibe, and like he definitely was given like toxic freaky nigga, right? But as we have now ascended to this version of his career, he's no longer with Drika. He is just saying weird shit every other day. He's like a trying to be enlightened Corey Holcomb. He's like a mix of Dr. Umar / Corey Holcomb / like he just / Diddy. Like he's all of them wrapped in one, you know? He's all of that wrapped in one, you know? And we all know he a freak a leak, but he definitely gives freak a leak, but still ain't making you come. Like he do all that talking, but can you back it up though? It's given not. I'm sorry, it's given not. It's given freaky for unnecessary reasons. Like that's what it's giving to me. But y'all know him and Brittany Renner together, right? And so Brittany Renner, I am Joseph. Thank you. I see you. I'm gonna keep going because that's what I do. Keep going. You know, there's always one person that's hating outside of the club. You can't even get in. How you hating outside of the club? You can't even get in. So he basically is with Brittany Renner. Y'all know she has you know changed her life. She's evolved. You know, those are other ones, right? First, I don't get tired, and Two Phones. Two Phones was the other one. I don't get tired, yeah. But like Two Phones definitely went platinum in my high school. I got 2 phones, one for the plug, one for the low. I got 2. Was it trap phone? I ring ringing. Trap phone, I ring ringing. Okay. And then what was another one? Is it one thing? Only thing I think it was. One thing I really love is making love to the CA. One thing I really love is making love to the CA. So, like, you know, he a freaky nigga, but like at the end of the day, who he's evolved into is freaky for no reason, like unnecessarily all the time. Like, you know how y'all say lady in the streets, freak in the streets, lady in the streets, freak in the sheets. Kevin Gates is freak 24/7, and that's a problem to me. I like my men to be contained. I like their freak to be, you know, covered up. You know, I like it to be hidden. You know, where it's almost like where I like the thug to be hidden in the dude, or like the who carries real like undercover thug energy, but like you know not to fuck with him. Red. That's when I always okay. So y'all, for those of y'all who watch Toya and Reginae, her husband Red, he carried the energy that I like. Okay, like you can tell he quiet, but you can tell he'll fuck some shit up. You know, if you keep playing with him, and you can tell, you know, if he get activated, you know, he gonna okay from the bike. Okay. I'm about to nigga do a full split, all right? Like Red carries that energy of just like real low key, to tear you down energy. You know, that's the type I like it. I like the freak to be nonchalant in my dudes, okay? But nonetheless, Kevin Gates, he basically was talking shit to LeBron James, saying that he don't like how Savannah James look at him. You know, she need to look at him like, you know, his basically the white women on the sidelines, the fans look at him. And it's like, nigga, you do know she's popped out like 4 of his kids. Like, how many kids they got? They got 4 or 5 kids. People are looking at him as if they're a fan because they're fans. She's not going to be looking at her husband as if he's a fan 24/7. She lived with the nigga. She literally knows that man's shit schedule. She literally cooks, cleans, washes that man's laundry. Well, I mean, she could be, you know, she could not be like Jasmine Brown. We would hope and pray that she not like Jasmine Brown. And, you know, LeBron got her over there living in the laps of luxury, not having to clean up after shit, okay? Because if I done been with you for this long and Savannah James have put up with the shit that she did with LeBron, because we all know, even though people like to look at them as the, you know, the sparkle couple and couple goals, we know LeBron put her through some shit, okay? Point blank period. They just was able to keep their shit under wraps. But it don't change the fact that a lot of people was, you know, rumored that he had a baby or rumored that he messed around. But, you know, if you gonna do it, you better make sure that whole quiet. NDA, pay to play. You only gonna be cheating around and doing stuff if you can pay to play. That's what you broke ass niggas be forgetting. But nonetheless, Kevin Gates showed up with Brittany to the Laker game. Showed up with Brittany Renner, literally covered head to toe, and I'm just like, I see Brittany, and I'm just like, no, Chica, no. And you dressed all up with Kevin Gates, of all the niggas to be dressed up with, not him. He don't even really believe that lifestyle because he's over there with his titties out. So, you know, seeing Brittany all hugged up beside him, I just really feel for her because she just so lost. Just so lost. But Kevin Gates did all that shit talking. And, you know, LeBron James basically had a picture with Savannah. And he was like, you know, kings don't entertain themselves with peasants. And then, like, he posted a picture with Savannah and was like, my queen, you know, where do you want to go? And they were looking like right at each other because the idea that, you know, the woman is beneath you is asinine. You know why that y'all sit there and say y'all are logical all the time. So let me ask a logical question to men that feel like they're so logical and that, you know, women are subordinate to them. Y'all say y'all want women to be able to hold you down. Y'all's favorite thing to do. If I lose my job, can you hold me down? If I fall, can you hold me down? So if you the man who is more valuable than the woman, i.e. carries more weight in this bitch than a woman, if you fall and you want the woman to be able to catch you, to take care of you and carry the weight for the both of yous, okay? Explain that to me logically of how she's able to carry not only her weight, but your weight too, if she's less than you. Let's not use the Bible here to explain. Let's use logic. Oh, well, because the Bible says Eve came from Adam's rib. Let's use logic here. If a woman is less than you, how is she able to carry not only her weight, but as y'all say, should you fall, should you need a soft place to land, She carries not only her weight, but your weight too. But she's beneath you, which means less valuable, means less weight to the equation, right? She's less than you. But we all know if this were to be a scale, her being less than you, which means the scale would tip. That bitch would tip over, you know, if she's less than you, right? And you throw your shit over there. But you expect the scale to be even when you can no longer hold it, but she can still hold it, her own plus yours, and to be able to carry, to be able to still balance shit. Logically, make that shit make sense. That's why you can't take these niggas seriously. Like, they literally make my ass itch because they don't just don't. That's why, like, I think they don't make sense. And Shannon Sharp, you get what you get, because the nerve of you to really think that you could be 50, damn near 60, damn years old and be with a 19-year-old, and you weigh that shit out in your mind, and you are willing to take the risk. Point blank, period. And now you gonna run to, like, you know what this is. People who love me and a part of my community know what this shit is. Y'all always come running back when y'all need some motherfucking help after dealing with them white bitches. Fucking with them white hoes. That's what they say. Like, hey, no, we're not doing it. Sorry. We're not doing it. And if Tony Busby finally gets him one because you actually did the shit, then that's on you. Y'all just thought, oh, they be trying to take down black men. Well, if you wasn't doing no shit to be taken down for, they wouldn't be able to take you down. That's what y'all not getting. Y'all feel like this idea of y'all can't be taken down because y'all watch the white men not be taken down. But this is their creation. This is something created for them. We know how this system works. So the idea that you're going to be treated just as that white man, then y'all really not logical, because y'all can't put two and two together. Just, I tell you. But yeah, you guys, I've been out here for a little bit, you know. I'll take this last little corner shot of this for a quick sayonara. Y'all drop down in the comments, you know, let me know what you think of the topics we discussed today. I kind of really just went on a little ramble here, you know, but I'm okay, because I said I was going to go live more, you know, just come and talk to y'all. Just come and shoot the shit. So that's basically what it is. Anytime I go live or have a little headline topics and stuff like that, you know, we just shoot the shits, y'all. That's just what it is. So, you know, let me take the last little shot. That's for the send-off. I appreciate y'all hoes for tuning in. Y'all drop down in the comments about what we talked about today. Tracee Ellis Ross, Shannon Sharp, Ben Stiller, being there for the black folks. Hey, you know, he trying to get his coupon to the cookout. Kevin Gates. Yeah, you guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I will catch you hoes later. Y'all make sure follow my Instagram, share, tag, all that good stuff, okay? And I will catch y'all hoes later. Deuces. Ain't this bad? This hoe ain't closed down.